their practice matches for TI, their pub matches. So that begs the question though: should pro players stream their games? Period. Should they ever stream their games as an active professional? Ren, what's your take?
I think they can, but as much as possible, it
They
should be
can.
avoided.
All right. So they can with reservation.
They can. It's the thing ngayon. Teams nowadays have been transitioning because from years ago, the idea of practice of teams is
Right.
just to play non-stop.
Sure.
Now, the players, as we see now, especially the top teams, they have more liberty with their time because they have maybe a few streams per day, talk about strats, and they can do whatever they want.
Right.
However, scrims for me are they give you nothing skill wise.
Streams.
Streaming and pubs. No, sorry,
Right.
not streams. Pubs.
Pubs.
Because that's what we're talking about. They're streaming. They're gonna be streaming pubs, and I think game skill wise, pubs has nothing to give you. First of all, the dynamics in pubs is actually different from actual competitive games.
Right.
And the second thing is you see these pros. What they're doing is they're using Smurfs, so that they can actually play in peace.
Right.
I think streaming, robs them or is counterproductive or counterintuitive to what they were doing sa kanilang Smurfs, and now they're exposing themselves. And we want to hope that this is something they want to do to relax,
Sure.
and them streaming their games makes it harder for them to relax. And as much as we want to say that they can ignore it, this is a problem that's being experienced. Let's say we've seen this in the NBA community. An interview and a release this week, one agent of a rookie is saying that players today are more sensitive. Why? Because everyone looks at their social media, everyone reads Reddit, and they see what other people has to say, and streaming exposes them to that. Not only doing that in a competitive play is one thing, but doing boneheaded plays and not optimal plays in pubs
Yeah.
is another.
Suddenly, kapag nagkamali ka in a pub and you're streaming it,
And not even the
not only someone flaming you for your tournament performance, but then now for your pub match.
Sometimes, again, because of that, naging high pressure na pati pubs mo. You're being forced to perform. I guess we still expect, these pros to react, to act as pros, kahit na anonymously. We've seen incidents on that recently with Matu.
Matu, yeah.
Not performing as he should as a pro. But
I think EE was also...
again, also in the spot, in the microscope.
Diba, nakita nila, he was streaming his game. He got ganked as Drow Ranger. Instantly, before he even died, instantly quit the game and then queued up for another one. Then people are saying, well, cancer naman na player na to.
Again, but I guess that's not something totally out of the ordinary for a player. I'm sure there's people who do that. And again, even him, that's just 1 out of maybe 20 games that he does that. But then it becomes
It's
magnified.
overblown because it was on a stream, it was captured, people saw it, now sharing it.
We don't want to blame the stream, of course, for that naman.
Right.
Kaya lang, there's just nothing for them, and there's a lot to lose for streaming. For smaller.
So why should they? Because you mentioned that they can.
I think they can if that's something they enjoy doing. One. Second, if usually for smaller. For players with smaller contract, or the up and coming players, maybe from a certain situation, it can be beneficial for you. It can be considered as maybe an extra income for some players that may be make or break. Actually,
Sure.
I would consider maybe even a few $100s if we're talking about the Philippines. Something that we know firsthand, the Philippines, a few $100s can make a difference of you. Surviving your life as a full-time gamer and not. So I think that's an option that you should explore then, if it's not interrupting your time as a player, your practice, your things with your team. But on the other hand, it should not interfere with your life as a player. You cannot have the plan na ginagawa mo siya because it's your backup option. It's basically something you want to do lang while working, but not something na you'll bill out on.
You know what? I'm going to say no.
No, just flat out no.
Flat out no. I would say if you're a professional player, you shouldn't stream your games if you're an active professional player.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. And I will agree with one of your points. I will agree, however, na you shouldn't do it if it takes away from vital practice time, right? Because at the end of the day, what is the job of a professional player? It's to win games with their team. And if your mental space is already taken up by, okay, I need to perform, I need to stream later, yung subs ko, kailangan kong pataasin, I need to hit my streaming hours on Twitch so that I can get money. Yep. If your mind is already there, you're already gone. You're not already part of the team. And I'm saying this if you're an active professional player. Right? You can stream your games if it's off season. As we've seen with the NBA, right? In the NBA, you over ngayon, especially when Fortnite was exploding, some of these players, their season's already over, they're streaming games. Gordon Hayward, sidelined, streaming his games. Right? Playing League of Legends, mga ganyan na games.
Some people are playing in the season actually.
Some people are playing in the season. And what happened? Pinapagalitan sila nung coaching staff nila. Right? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, the reality of being a streamer, okay? Here's the reality of streaming. When you stream, especially when you have a big enough following, when you stream, you get a partnership. You could secure a partnership, and that partnership, may kasama dyan, of course, may bayad dyan. Sabihin na natin, I'll just throw out a figure. And this figure is actually lower, pero minimum dyan, if you're a streaming partner, you can get paid at least 1,000 USD. That's low.
A month.
Right, a month.
All right.
Okay? Now, in order to get that as part of the partnership, you have to hit a minimum amount of hours to stream.
Okay.
Sabihin natin, you have to hit 100 hours of streaming per month to get that. What's the other way that streaming earns you money? Subs. Okay? So subs, you're streaming, people subscribe to your channel, you get a percentage of that. Or you get donations.
Right.
Okay. Now, all of those things require time as an investment. Because you will not be able to have a lot of subs if, for example, you're not consistent. Ninja, the most successful Twitch streamer in the world right now, went for a few days off stream, came back, lost 40,000 subs.
Yeah. He said that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, may time na siya. And that time is something you don't have when you're an active professional player. Again, I say the word active professional pro. That's why I don't think if you're an active pro, you should stream your games at all. Because it takes away from focus that you can use for the game. That's the reality of streaming. Now, some people will say na, wala, gusto namin silang mapanood eh. That's the other use of streaming, to be absolutely frank with you. The other use of streaming is that it helps build a player's brand. Diba? Some of the more exciting players, nakita natin sila because, we've seen them play in a public setting. And then na-excite tayo. But I don't think that it is a necessity when you're an active pro already on a team. Okay? And when it all comes down to it is because when you start to think about, okay, I can do streaming, and again, I'm saying streaming as if you gagawin mo siya as part of your career, right? If gagawin mo siya as a fallback, tulad na sabi mo, you're no longer 100% in the idea that you need to win with
your dedication is questionable.
Diba? Your dedication is already questionable. Bakit? You're 1 foot out the door ka na eh. 1 foot out the door ka na eh. Isip ko, okay, magsistream ako. Alright? Magsistream ako. If we ever fail in this tournament, I'm going to go stream. Right? Once nandun ka, you might as well be gone. Because this is Dota 2. And in Dota 2, your amount of dedication and focus is 100% required. But that's why Team Liquid doesn't stream their games. Diba? Because their mental space has to be in that situation where kailangan nila mag-compete. Now, if it's the off-season, after TI, we have about a month. Sure, mag-stream kayo. There's no problem there. But I don't think they should do that when they are in the mode of competition. They can take a tournament off, and in their off time, gagawin nila yon. That's fine. But again, once they come back to active duty, once they are preparing for a tournament, once they're in the mode to go to a tournament, even though there's a downtime, they should not stream.
No, the thing, yung reservation ko actually for the top teams, I was saying that, it can be, the money can be life-changing for certain people.
Sure.
But that's why I was giving the reservations that they could stream their game because, as you've said, there's a certain certain portion or a certain part about branding when it comes to streaming. And for some players, it's not even about the money anymore.
Right.
So some people, again, I've said that these players now have more more free time actually than probably what many people would expect.
Mm.
Given again, yung mga ideas natin ng schedules nila, especially from
Well,
many years ago.
it depends though,
It depends on the teams generally, but I think
per region, we've
per-
seen China for this TI.
yeah, I think Mali shared the schedule. It's
Yeah.
very hectic, but still, I think in general it's still better compared to the previous years.
I think it's better. It's less of a sweatshop condition right now, diba? Pero
I think there's still more free time now if you do want to do it. But the thing about is, you were talking about target hours and target subs, but some people are not even after that. Maybe it's part of their obligation.
sure.
But take that away. Maybe they just want to stream. There's some players like let's show Artisan Sumail there, na who streams regularly, and I doubt that those guys are after the money anyway.
I mean, I agree. Pero yun nga yung sa akin eh. Again, if you're going to stream, I would prefer na again, you're not on your way to a tournament. Right? Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
when
for sure.
nung dumating sa atin to, this was in response to people asking for certain players to stream their public matches on their way to TI. Ngayon eh. Right? Because they're all in their boot camps.
Yeah, they want to see the condition.
Yeah,
They want to see
diba?
how the players
Yeah,
are
and then of
doing.
course, obviously people want to see okay, wala tayong mga tournament ngayon eh. I want to see, what heroes are they, are they preparing? Are they good at this here? Are they good at that? And to be absolutely honest, that is hindi mas selfish, pero that's just you as an audience. Yun yung gusto mo lang
Yeah.
makita. It's a very self-serving na goal. But that doesn't necessarily line up eh. That doesn't necessarily line up with what these players need to do. These players need to win games. So their mental space isn't, okay, lalaroin ko to, isi-stream ko siya, kailangan ko kausapin yung chat, pag hindi ko kinakausap yung chat, baka walang manood. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
May ganun pa rin eh.
I agree with you in most part. Instead, maliban lang sa part na they shouldn't stream. I think they can stream, but it just,
Ako para sa akin, I'm taking the hard stance. Because it's time for TI, and even when you're just going for a major or a minor, para kasi sa akin, what you do, even in the small moments, they
it's
all
part-
add up eh.
Yeah, they do. They
Diba?
do.
Diba? So para sa akin, if gusto mong manalo, and that is your job as a pro player, gusto mong manalo, you're an active pro, you're going to a tournament, don't stream. Don't do extraneous activities. You can chill and you can relax. That's fine because you need your mind. Your mind needs to be able to
No,
reset
I think
and
mas malaki
digest.
lang yung definition ng active pro. Because
Right.
my active pro is not just, people going to TI. There's a lot of pros, let's say, in Southeast Asia
True.
who are, streaming can, again, be of something of big help to them.
I will say, however, that if you're not playing in TI ngayon, you should stream. If you're not playing in TI, you're a professional caliber player. You're not joining these smaller tournaments. Go stream. Like I would love for Bimbo to stream now, right? There's a month before TI. If they're not at Ang game or they're not playing anything, Bimbo, please stream. That is something that I think is valuable for people. He's not going to be joining the Summit 9 or, right? It's essentially off-season para sa kanya. Jules should stream. People, I think, can find some value from that. And katulad na sabi mo, it could be lucrative for them in not just monetary value. For branding, for future na mga engagements, diba? So, I do think that pwede. Pero para sa akin, kung active preparing, especially preparing for another tournament, if your goal is to win, do not stream. I don't think it helps you.
Okay.
But I think, agree naman tayo dun. I don't think it helps you if you want to win. Diba?
Yeah, not if you want to win.
Not if you want to.
Because again, nothing to be skill-wise. Not anything you can gain.
That's true.
There's things you can gain.
People gain from watching you. You are not gaining from streaming.
I guess for some people, the peace of mind na may makakain ka bukas.
Sabagay.
It's something. But that's on the extreme side. Again, for me, they can probably still stream. But if it can be avoided, for the reasons you have stated and the reasons I have stated, they should na lang.
Ako for me, it's more hardline stance.
Okay.
I think if you want to prepare, if you want to win, do away with stuff that is not essential. Right?
All
right. Well, that's it for us here on The Duel. That's it for today. We'll be back next week for another episode. And this time, it will be the lead up for TI. By then, hopefully, may na-announce na kami something more substantial. going into it. And once again, we want to thank our partners, Dove Men Plus Care, for providing us this beautiful set. Tune in sa mga giveaways na manggagaling from Dove Men Plus Care on our channels. Ren, saan na pwede hanap?
You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/DannyDito.
Alright. Do you have a Twitter, I'm sure?
I do have a Twitter.
Do you actually update it?
I do update it maybe this coming TI actually.
This coming TI.
That's about the time we're update.
Tama.
So
speaking of Twitter, you can find me there at the Pao Bago. It's the same thing.
you do update on Twitter.
I do update on Twitter, just not for World Cup. Didn't watch it. Tennis, basketball, and Dota. All things esports. Doon yung mahanap. You can also find us probably milling about sa lupon ng Wombo Combo, our Facebook group. Kung hindi nyo pa siya nasasalihan, you can find all of the tournament coverage, schedules, matchup updates, all of these things. And more. Sure. Actually, si Ren nandun din. Minsan lang siya nagko-comment.
Yeah, I've been lurking. Hindi naman siya lurker.
Yeah, that's all you do actually, di ba? Just lurking here and there.
Lurk
Pero kung gusto niyo siyang kausapin about, other things, especially mga alam niya in the world of esports, you can also find him there. Speaking of Facebook, by the way, you can also follow Dove Men at DoveMenPH on Facebook. Again, that's it for us tonight. The Duel will sign off, but huwag kayong aalis. If you are a fan of mobile gaming, Mobile Legends stream coming up next on Open Mic. Kasama namin the one, the only, the lovely Miss JD. So abangan nyo yan. Open Mic starts in about a few minutes after this show ends. Magbabaway na po kami. See you guys next week.
See you.